जिद का तुम्हारे जो पर्दा सरकता, खिड़कियों से आगे भी तुम देख पाते, आंखों से आदतों की जो पलके हटाते, तो तुम जान लेते मैं क्या सोचती। मेरी तरह होता अगर खुद पर जरा भरोसा, तो कुछ दूर तुम भी साथ साथ आते।
It took Vikramaditya Motwane almost 7 years to make Udaan. It's been 16 years since then. Unfortunately, the film is still relatable. It still brings us back to darker times. It still connects us to a common problem we have in life. Parental pressure and expectation is a common problem for most of us. Bollywood has made many films on this topic, and almost every time audiences embrace them. They deeply connect with these films. They see themselves through the eyes of the character. Because these films aren't just fiction, they are just a mirror to our own lives. Udaan was released in a time when Bollywood heavily relied on family dramas. Parents were glorified and family values were praised. Winning their love and acceptance was the only goal that ensured a happy ending. But Udaan was different. It didn't follow the formula of appeasement. It showed us that sometimes you need to walk away. Sometimes you need to break the cycle. There is a big reason why Vikramaditya Motwane invested so much time in perfecting the film. It was very different from what the audience was used to seeing. He couldn't have known for sure if the film would be accepted in a society where parents can never do wrong. But Udaan worked. His brilliant direction and storytelling absolutely won over the audience. Udaan isn't just a coming of age film. It is a brutal reminder that achieving your dreams requires a great sacrifice. It requires the courage to disappoint the people who believe they know what's best for you. This is a movie that never gets old. And there are several reasons why. Today I'm going to talk about why Udaan is such a great movie and why everyone should give it a watch. On first look, Udaan seems to be the tale of a young boy who is trapped under an abusive father. But the more you watch, the more you understand how complicated it is to survive in a world of violence and anxiety. Rohan is a young boy who dreads going home. He has been kicked out of his boarding school for breaking a rule. When he returns home to Jamshedpur, he is reunited with his father, a man he hasn't seen in 8 years. A man who only wrote him robotic letters while Rohan wasted away alone. Rohan's father isn't a stranger, yet to him he might as well be. Rohan may have been only 17, but he was already given the tag of a failed man. From the very beginning, we see an intense level of detachment between the father and the son. Rohan's father Bhairav never visited him in school. He never mentioned his second marriage or his younger son Arjun. When you see this level of detachment, you question yourself. What kind of a father is he? Well, the film answers it for you. Bhairav's only goal was to make his son an engineer. He didn't care what Rohan wanted. He abused Rohan when he dared to voice his dreams. He believed in money and status over personal goals. His answer to disobedience and failure was physical violence. You'll watch Bhairav and identify him as a cruel man. He's controlling, violent, emotionally unavailable, but you also realize that he was a product of generational trauma. The film presents him as something far more unsettling, a man shaped by the very violence he now inflicts on others. He did what he saw his father do. Bhairav grew up around violence, so he advocated for it. The film makes us understand that. Then by stark contrast, it also shows us that it is possible to stop, that it's possible to break that cycle. Rohan does it, for himself and his younger brother. Rohan is a young and impressionable man. It would have been easy for him to listen to his father and maybe let the cycle continue. He almost ended up in the same boat until something changed in him. The idea of a cycle of abuse is pretty consistent throughout the film. Bhairav mirrors his own father's actions. The college seniors who befriended Rohan were also mirroring what they saw at home. They indulged in violence because they grew up in that environment. Rohan was close to following that. He started to pick up every habit his father had. Only his intense desire to follow his dreams just kept him at the edge of sanity. When he saw Arjun end up in the hospital due to his father's beating, something in him changed. When he saw his father sending Arjun to a boarding school while arranging his third marriage, he realized something crucial. He needed to be the one to break the curse. He realized that his father wouldn't change. He realized that Arjun would end up lonely and neglected just like him. So he took a stand for himself and his brother. He became a protector to Arjun. He advocated for his own dream, something that his father could never do. And this is the real beauty of the film. It doesn't show the father magically changing after putting his child in the hospital. Because not every story ends with everyone being happy and getting what they want. What makes Udaan special isn't that Rohan achieves his dream. We never really find out whether he becomes a successful writer. We don't know if life becomes easier. We don't know if everything works out. And that's exactly the point. The film isn't about success. It's about freedom. For the first time in his life, Rohan gets to choose his own future. And sometimes that's the bravest thing a person can do. Udaan takes you on an amazing journey of resistance and hope. It's a perfect portrayal of overcoming unfair obligations and family pressure. It remains painfully relevant because millions of young people are still fighting the same battle between expectation and identity. Because deep down, all of us have been Rohan at some point. The film reminds us that it's never too late to choose differently. It's never too late to walk away, and never too late to take flight. With that, I'm going to wrap up this video. Let me know if you have seen the film. If you haven't, I would definitely recommend you give it a watch. Come back and tell me if you do, because I'll be waiting. And for more such recaps, keep following the channel. Thank you so much.